That's Monday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Community Broadcasters is proud to be your local radio source. However, we're more than just a voice of the airwaves. We're a one-stop shop for total advertising solutions.
Yes, we broadcast your message to loyal listeners, but we also take your brand beyond the dial. Want to reach people where they scroll, stream, and surf? We've got you covered.
Digital ads? Absolutely. Social marketing? You bet. Streaming platforms, targeted campaigns, real-time metrics. That too. Whether you're reaching across town or across the world, we can help place your message directly in front of your ideal audience.
With passion, impact, and results. So why settle for less when you can amplify your message everywhere? Let community broadcasters help you broadcast bigger and advertise smarter.
It's your voice, your reach. One platform with endless possibilities. Email us at totalreach@combroadcasters.com. That's COMM broadcasters.com. Or call us at 843-678-9393. We're Community Broadcasters. It's more than just a catchy name.
Trust DPM Property Maintenance for professional landscape design and installs on new and existing properties, commercial and residential. From irrigation system installs and upgrades to stunning outdoor lighting and audio, DPM prioritizes quality over quantity. They never rush through a job, making sure it's done right the first time, every time. Call Tyler Davison today at 843-617-2038 for your free estimate. Find them on Facebook at Davison Property Maintenance, LLC. DPM Davison Property Maintenance, bringing your vision to life with trust and quality.
This summer, there's one place where creativity runs wild, where stories come to life and fun is just the beginning. Explore a new hobby or discover hidden talents. Join Florence County Library System's summer reading program and dive into books, movies, music, and games, plus hands-on activities and awesome events to spark your creativity. Whether you're a creator, a dreamer, or just here for the fun, there's something at the library for you. Visit florencelibrary.org for details and let's color our world together this summer.
From the Florence Toyota Studios, home of the Press Box with Alan Smothers, WOLH Florence, 96.3 ESPN Radio. Welcome to South Carolina's premier tailgate show, Game Day in the Carolinas, broadcasting from the spacious tailgate of the Community Broadcasters Complex on the PD's 96.3 FM, Sumter's WDXY 105.9 FM, and on. Join Matt and Woody on the tailgate by calling 843-407-5812. And now, your party hosts, Woody Fagan and Matt Jordan.
No, you're right. We need to figure out a way to get those robots.
Yeah, if we could. If only radio was visual to a degree, we could have the footballs. The football players dodging the names that appear up on the screen. Irv Cross, Jimmy the Greek.
I love that. That's
Phyllis. Awesome. What was her name? Phyllis.
Oh God, I don't even remember her last name.
She was in Miss America.
Phyllis George.
Phyllis George. Yes.
And of course, Brent Musburger. It is Game Day in the Carolinas. I'm Matt. He's Woody. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And we promised today we're not going to, try to down any other teams.
Why not?
When we're talking about Coastal playing for a national championship. Like we did last week, which was not planned, but we just got out of, a 20-minute hardcore discussion on Gamecock baseball.
Well, pretty soon those discussions will be held annually by the Coastal Elite, too.
Yes.
If you win 2 natties or you're in the running as much as they've been, there are expectations.
There are. And by the way, the phone number, 843-407-5812. Before I forget, it's weird because pretty soon everybody's going to have to make a decision. You can't be with the way the settlement is, with the way the money's distributed. You cannot be what I call a jack of all trades and a master of none. And school, and you know which school I'm talking about, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Thinks they can be a jack of all trades, but outside of women's college basketball, not be elite in anything. It is a weird place for a team like Coastal Carolina to be. Because they have expectations in sports, all their sports, but they don't have the money. And that's what I'm really thinking right now is everybody from Clemson and Alabama on down are going to have to make the decision. What sport are we going to be damn the torpedoes in?
Yeah.
Because I legitimately believe in this new world we're about to enter, you cannot be good in everything.
I don't know. LSU's making a pretty good argument for it.
Yeah.
The women's basketball's strong. Baseball's good. Basketball's pretty good.
Basketball's okay.
Football's pretty good. If they get rid of the head coach, they'd be better. I don't know what their other sports do. They're pretty well known for the gymnastics program, too, I believe.
Well,
so
LSU's got money. Texas has money. If you got money, you can probably be good in every sport.
Well, I think you can do it.
A school like, a school like Coastal Carolina, they have to decide. Are we going to be, are we just going to be this baseball powerhouse forever and just be okay in football and okay in basketball?
Well, with the way things are going with transfer portals and all that, they're going to be good, but they're going to have to work really hard to maintain because they're going to lose their star talent once they discover it and develop it.
Mm-hmm.
Coastal's biggest issue to me is not really the money.
Yeah.
Coastal's issue to me is the real estate.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of land around that university. They just got themselves a really nice indoor practice arena. And if you haven't driven down, was it 544?
Yeah.
It's up. I don't know if it's finished inside or not, but the outside frame is up. It's beautiful right beside the stadium.
It is.
And you think of the success they've had, and they have had a successful football program.
They have.
I don't care what you say. A school that size that has been that competitive and won bowl games and now hosting one down there, to be able to have done that and not even have a legit, they didn't even have an inflatable dome type set up for practice.
No, you're 100% right.
They've got a half a field out there on one of the side yards over there near the stadium with a set of goalposts up, and you drive by any time in the spring and summer, you'll see people out there working out.
Yep, and you're right. They had to move the soccer stadium for the new indoor practice facility, which Clemson had to do too.
Conway's got to figure it out for them.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, and you just brought up the point I was going to make. Schools like Coastal Carolina, the money is going to have to be spent to retain.
Oh yeah,
and or bring in new talent. Because I look at Murray State, and my first thing is, oh God, the minute they're done, that transfer portal opens, half that team is gone because they're all going. Those kids are going to get paid.
But we've seen with some of our players here locally, though, with South Carolina's case, with two football players that have been in the news this week, they were offered big money, and chose to stay home. So it'll happen.
You're going to have to get those kids that will choose to stay at Coastal. But I think if they win another national, especially against LSU, because you're talking about, you look at Coastal, which, by the way, they now share history with South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
They are, if you haven't heard, they are the South Carolina, by the way, was the team previous. The first two trips to Omaha, they make the national championship. Back then, for South Carolina, it was the national championship game.
Yeah.
Now it's the series. But South Carolina was the last team to do it before Coastal. So that helps a lot. But if they beat LSU, you think about, that's a hell of a way to recruit.
No, you said that wrong. When they beat
Thank you. Yeah, when they beat LSU. When they beat LSU. That's a hell of a way to recruit, because you can go into the house and say, listen, we've beaten two of the big boys. You know, when we go to Omaha, we've beaten two of the big boys. We took out Arizona, and we're taking out LSU. I mean, that's how many teams can actually say that they've gone to Omaha and beaten Arizona and LSU for national championships.
And it wasn't even really close. The games prior to. I mean, they've taken care of business at the regional level, super regional level, and now at Omaha.
And they ran through everybody like a buzzsaw.
Yeah. I mean, that pitching, and for me, not a ton of power, but the guys make contact. They put the ball, they hit it where it's thrown. They don't try to do anything extra with it. They play the game really, really well.
That's what I love. Give me about 6 or 7 guys in a lineup that just hit the ball good.
Well, I get tired of watching the same athletes. You see it in the pros, too. Now, it's a different level. I realize the speeds are faster, the curveballs are wicked, the sliders, all that good stuff. But you see a pitch thrown to the outside with a batter now that's a big, strong hitter. They always think they can use that strength to pull it every time, instead of just stepping to the pitch, driving it to the right side of the field and making a nice play out of it. Coastal's players do that automatically.
Yes.
And it's refreshing to see that somebody's little league training paid off.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, give me 6 guys in my lineup of 9. Give me 6 guys that can hit good. Mm-hmm. I will win about 90% of my games.
You don't see them make many errors.
Right. Because I'll have 1 or 2 guys that, maybe is a good bunter, has a little bit of speed, isn't the best hitter, but, we put him in there for speed. And then you get your one, maybe 2 home run hitters.
Well, they had some video out this week of the training that the catcher goes through and what all he does. Oh, and that was amazing because, they use weighted, heavier baseballs, that are thrown low and all that stuff. He's scooping those up, training with different types of weights and stuff in the crouch, in his stance, arm gestures and all that stuff with the way he sweeps the mid over the plate. It's fantastic to see that. The attention to detail is and it's paying off.
And I have to admit, I am a little excited about a mock draft for once.
Yeah.
Because Caden Bodine in the ESPN mock draft, 20th to the Brewers.
Really? That'd be a good pickup for them.
Yes. And I believe that if he's even half as committed in the majors as he is to Coastal, that kid will be the best Brewers player since Paul Molitor.
I don't think there'd be any question about that. He seems to be a young man with really good character. So yes. I expect nothing less than that.
Absolutely.
One of the things talking about, too, with these teams and what they're going to do in the future, I think if you go look at any of the leagues right now, whether it's our local league here with the Flamingos, you look at any of the Midwest leagues, maybe Cape Cod would be the only exception because they typically don't invite anyone that's not at least a sophomore or junior, I think, to play.
Well, yeah. And the COD is, let's be honest, the COD's where you want to go.
It's a different level. Yeah. Your Valley League in Virginia is a big deal, too. Most of those leagues are full of freshmen right now.
Yep.
And these freshmen are coming from the major schools, didn't get any playing time because of transfer portal stuff now. You're getting the older players in. There's going to be chances for teams like a Coastal to pick up that younger talent and play it early.
Yes. I agree.
Develop the loyalty even to them. So I think there's a chance you're going to see that NIL might actually improve the process in baseball a little bit.
That's kind of where I was thinking, too, with Coastal. You're going to have to get the kids that maybe want the money down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm talking about in terms of what football coaches used to tell their kids. Look, we can't pay, we're not allowed to pay you anything right now, but your paycheck's coming 3-4 years down the road when you get your draft money.
Well, because of the bulk of the players taken, too, with the baseball draft, if you're not within a round or so, it's not worth going, typically, unless you've just got no other option or you're just out of time. It would be wiser to stay.
And that's another thing. I'm glad you threw that one out there, too, because that's a question that's been on my mind for a while. With the NIL money that's out there now, I know you need a lot of players to fill your minor leagues. I understand that's why it's 20 rounds. But with the NIL that's being out there, I'm almost in favor of shortening the major league draft to 15 rounds.
And that could happen.
Because here's the other thing about the Major League Draft. When you get to a certain point where I think you're not locked into a salary, they negotiate with you before they draft you. And if they find out, hey, wait a minute, no, we're at an impasse, they're not going to draft you. And that's what I'm starting to think is a lot of these kids, especially at the major schools, are going to be like, listen, I can make more money in college.
Well, exactly.
And you'll have another shot at drafting me next year.
That was going to be my point. I mean, in some cases, even stretching it, because I don't know what they're spending. You know, you can't really go – you can go online right now and look at every contract pretty much within the Braves organization. Find out what they're being paid, how many years, you know, that kind of stuff. You can't see that in the college sports. And I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, you hear reports of it. I think On3 or whoever's trying to keep up with that portal tracker
but they
thing.
Don't know.
You don't really know. You see a lot of reports. You hear a lot of things. I mean, we heard Lenora Sellers was offered $8 million by a school from his father, and I'm not calling his father a liar.
No,
I'm just saying you don't know that unless you're really in that circle.
Well, that's kind of my whole thing, too. It's like, I'm not going to call anybody a liar, but do I think some of that is embellished? Yeah.
It could be. And I'm not saying that in Lenora Sellers. I'm not, please, folks, don't misconstrue, because there's people out there just waiting to do that kind of stuff. I am not calling anyone a liar. All I'm saying is there's always a gray area in what really happened versus what you heard.
And here's the other question I got about that. Who benefits from that knowledge?
Well, the kid. Well, the kid's going to benefit because, you know, if other schools think, well, good Lord, we need to up our offer if so-and-so's giving him this.
Yeah.
They take a note for next time.
It is a shrewd business move.
Yeah.
But getting back to what you were saying, we will never be able to confirm anything like that because of technically it's still a rule. I don't know how well enforced it is. I guess if a rule is not enforced, is it really a rule?
No.
Lenoris didn't jump in the transfer portal. He's not going to jump in the transfer portal.
Neither is Dylan Stewart. And so no team is going to come out and go, yeah, we threw $8 million at him. Nobody's going to say that.
Because that's technically against the rules.
That's right.
As we found out earlier this week, apparently.
Well, my point in all that was to say, coaches sit down one of these young guys, you know, may have a couple of years left or a year left. Mm-hmm. Okay, look here, John, you're looking at, with the round you're potentially going in the MLB draft, a $500,000 signing bonus maybe.
Yeah.
Languishing in 1A, 2A. Meanwhile, you could stay here. Yeah. We could probably get some NIL money together. You make a little bit more money, a little bit more doing it, staying here, and giving yourself time to develop at a pace that's acceptable. Because once you get into that league, you're either excelling or you're behind.
It's either sink or swim.
You're done. Yeah, there's nobody there really, I think, that is in charge of, unless you've just got that kind of talent. They don't have that many people personally devoted to your success.
No, I agree.
It's either sink or swim. You're right. So it would make more sense. You're going to keep more of that talent in college ball in baseball. Now, football is a little bit different story with the way those contracts are set up, and plus the percentages of those who actually make it are so much smaller.
No, I totally agree.
There's no minor league, obviously, for football unless you consider Canadian football. What's the other? UFL.
UFL, yeah.
You know, there's nowhere you can go.
The ultimate failure league.
Come on now, that's not nice.
I mean, did you know their championship game was 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I knew it was going on. I don't know who was in it.
I don't either.
I haven't even had time to watch much of that. I noticed some of the Canadian ball's on. So
we love Canadian ball because a lot of our kids, good South Carolina kids, end up in a good old Canadian football league.
You betcha.
Yes.
So I think you've got more baseball. You may actually see a slight improvement in the game. Because of some of the money involvement.
I think that's the one thing we got to watch with the Olympic sports. The Olympic sports may improve.
Yeah.
Where the quality of football and basketball may degrade a little bit or a lot, depending on what you think.
You think about it from the basketball side, especially from the women's basketball.
Yeah.
You can make a heck of a lot more money staying in college playing women's basketball than you can going pro.
That was one of the things the Athletic had. It was probably 2 weeks ago. I was thinking about getting into it last week, but we never got into it. The headline was, will the new NIL settlement rules slow down South Carolina or Connecticut.
No.
They are still so far ahead. We've found out certain things about South Carolina basketball that a lot of that NIL ain't even being taken care of internally.
No. I mean,
they're getting a ton of money from other places.
They got to where they are pre-NIL. I mean, obviously, the success is there, the coaching's there, the grooming's there. Everything you needed to create successful professional athletes is in place.
Right.
Is the history.
And you got that at those two schools. I'd probably argue LSU.
LSU's in that
is in
class.
That group too, yeah. So, no, that ain't. I still think there will be about 10 teams in women's college basketball. I'm being generous. But maybe 10 teams that will probably share the bulk of the national championships for a while.
Well, that's an improvement.
It is.
You look at the last 15 years, it's really been about 2 teams.
Yeah.
So 8 would be a remarkable improvement.
You got UCLA, I think.
Texas,
LSU,
South Carolina, Connecticut,
Southern Cal.
Wasn't it Washington?
No, I know Southern Cal was the 1 seed this year.
Who else was one of the big teams out west for women's basketball? But gone are the days where you only really saw. I mean, in my lifetime growing up as a kid, occasionally seeing it, and the only time you'd see a lot of women's basketball on TV when I was coming up was during the championship game.
And it was usually Tennessee and Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Texas every now and then. You're going to see more teams that are going to be able to do more, that are going to be able to at least compete because of some of this NIL stuff.
Yeah.
So, it'll increase that number. Men's basketball, I don't think it's going to change that much. I think it's going to be what it is.
You'll have, 4 or 5 teams in men's basketball that'll move the national championship around.
But one thing it has proven, though, in men's basketball is that you can assemble a super team of players. Most of them, though, are going to be super freshmen or super sophomores, and then they're off to the NBA.
Right.
So they don't stay long.
A combination of the one and done and now the NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, they should just kill the G League at this point.
It's going to. I think it's going to really hurt that. But you're going to see – but, I mean, you've seen it already in men's college basketball where you can assemble a super team and still lose.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, they've proven that. Some teams have proven. I mean, Kentucky.
Yeah.
How many fab freshman teams have we heard about that's supposed to be unbeatable? All 5-star guys. They could have gone pro right out of high school, but they came to Kentucky, and they still can't win.
And how many national championships did Cal win?
There you go.
1.
There you go. I mean, so it isn't necessarily – it's not all just the team you build.
Right. And I think that puts unfair pressure on coaches. But let's take a phone call. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm going to say something that's going to blow your guys' mind.
Okay.
NIL is going to save men's college basketball.
It could.
Possible.
It could because it'll keep that talent home. Or keep them at least in the league.
The whole reason they leave, they're one and done, because they want to make that money.
Yep.
That's the whole reason that they're leaving. Not necessarily they want to play in the league. They just want to make the money. But if you can stay in school and make just about the same money as you'll make as a rookie in college, why not stay 4 years?
Well, you got 2 brothers. Well, you're right, but you got 2 brothers playing ball right now. One of them was at Tennessee, I think. The other one was playing in the pros, and the kid at Tennessee was making more money than his brother. It was in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
So
why not go ahead and give them a 4-year contract and then say we'll pay you this much to play and stay in school if you play in all the games. And same thing with football. If you decide if you're going to play football here, sign a 3-year deal, play in all the games, bowl games, all that kind of stuff, and then you get paid this money to play. Because that's what all it is now is free agency and pay to play. That's what college is turning into.
Well, the only thing with the football that needs to be fixed up is this eligibility garbage. And, I played AAA union ball when I was 13, and I should get credit for college, be able to keep that year I lost that I could have made NIL money. So you got a 38-year-old man out there playing with a bunch of 20-year-olds. That's got to change. I mean, I'm tired of that. There should not be a guy that's been in college for 7 years eligible for the Heisman Trophy.
Or there should just be one universal rule.
Agreed.
Because I'm tired of hearing, well, this guy gets his approval, but this guy with nearly the same circumstances, they deny him.
I mean, South Carolina's still waiting on that running back to be approved. But yet, Diego Pavia
got a different one. They went and got the Colorado court running back.
Yeah, but I think they really want the other one, and he runs like a beast too. But then you look at a guy like Diego Pavia, who because he played JUCO ball or whatever it was he was playing at whatever level, that counts. You get that eligibility back, and I disagree. The clock always started on eligibility the moment you set foot on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they're going to do with that, but they need to fix that.
Let me change the subject for 1 second. If you was the czar of college football, I'm talking about if you was able to change a rule or on the field, what rule would you change?
That's a good one right there.
See, I'll give you one right off the top of my head. I think the stupidest rule is the half the distance to the goal line rule. I think instead of going backwards, you move the first down yardage 5 yards instead of making it move back 2 inches. If you do a movement penalty, instead of moving it back, on the 2 yard and moving it back a yard, move the first down 5 yards ahead, and that way you actually get the penalty and not continue to have these. Sometimes they do penalties just to save a timeout.
Yeah. Well, the first thing that came to mind to me, I guess, was the substitution rules. I think you can, as an offense, do like what South Carolina was trying to do in that bowl game, is send one group out and then try to send another group out, because then you got to allow the defense to then make their substitution. I say, you got a 30-second play clock or whatever it is. You got 15 seconds to make all your switches. And if you can't get it done anything after 15, they throw the flag. Yep. I mean, there shouldn't be one of those, the clock resets, because that official on the field's got enough to keep up with. I just don't think he's going to be able to know who resets and at what exact time. You just create more madness. You got so many seconds to get your players in and get them set up to take the snap and go. And anything after that, I mean, that was a pain in the butt. And both coaches were in the wrong on that, in Illinois and at South Carolina. But watching that just evolve in the bowl game really just bugged the heck out of me. I don't know why.
You're not by yourself. But all he had to do was go to the no huddle, and then you wouldn't have
exactly
the substitute. The defense can't substitute, right?
Exactly.
Set it up.
You go to the no huddle, and that just stops that immediately.
That made more sense, and it just felt like that maybe the offensive coordinator didn't think that through properly.
Yeah. But anyway, I just think that stupid half the distance to the goal. Something's got to change on that.
Yeah.
And I think if you kick a 50-yard field goal, it ought to be worth 4 points.
No, I'm actually with you on that one, Lee.
Yeah.
I want to see a 4-point line.
I think that could work.
Yeah, legitimately. Anything beyond, let's say, the 40-yard line. You could paint the 40-yard line red. Anything that the kicker hits from beyond that should be worth 4 points.
And if you can kick it from the 50, you can kick a 65-yard field goal, it should count as 6.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not? I mean,
I'm game to make it. It's all about scoring.
Well, you're also putting more excitement into the game too.
Yeah, I agree.
That way, no score is really out of reach.
I'm not completely 100% sold still on the kickoff model in the pros that they're using now.
Not either.
I don't like it.
I don't want them to change it in college ball. I don't think they will, but I think you'll eventually see that. I think go back. I think the NFL will change that back to the old way.
They tweaked a little bit of it this year too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but they've played with some other stuff too. And don't tell me how much this limited time on the field is all about player safety again when they don't enforce the mouthpiece rule and the chin strap rule.
That's something I wish they would actually just come out and tell the truth. It's like, hey, we want them to return the kickoff back because we think that's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them run.
One other rule change they changed back is they had a review on pass interference calls. I thought that was a good rule because there's some questionable calls that these referees make, especially when it's in the playoff games and you're letting the referee decide the game and not the players on the field. I just think you ought to be able to review pass interference.
Yeah, well, I would agree with that. And it seems like they do the same thing in football they do in baseball, where you've watched a defender hang all over a receiver the entire game. They don't ever throw a flag, but in the final 2 minutes, the guy gives him a hard stare and he throws the flag.
Right.
And in baseball, they've got this 2 foot outside the plate strike zone. They've been given liberally to the pitcher all day.
Until you get to about the eighth inning.
The last 2 innings of the game, it better be within like 6-inch margin across the center of the plate.
It's literally
or it's not a strike.
It's literally a postage stamp.
They change it, and that drives me nuts. And it's so obvious in baseball, it's ridiculous. But
there was one guy one pitch away from having an immaculate inning.
Yep, and the Padres.
And he threw the ball right down the center of the plate. It was a strike, and the umpire called the ball.
The ball. Yeah. That happened, by the way, and not 20 minutes later, there was a bench-clearing brawl in that game.
My good friend Stevie Ray Cusack brought up something, too. I was getting ready to say, I've seen high school referees run a player off the field because they're wearing the football pants that come up above their knees.
Yeah.
And he's right. You need to enforce the uniform rule because you've literally got players playing in shorts with thigh pads.
Yeah.
They don't protect those knees at all. And, those guys look big on TV. Do you get beside some of them?
Should have applied in the College World Series where the guys went out there with the shirt all unbuttoned and they looked like a bunch of clowns.
Yeah.
That should have been enforced. Yeah.
But some of those receivers out there that look, and they're really big and tall, but their legs look like your thoroughbreds, man. You could just snap them, because they're that thin. Yeah. And those guys are wearing no protection at all around those kneecaps at all. And that needs to change too, if it's all about player safety, which is what you hear anytime they change something or when they add an extra 2 commercial breaks. It's all about player safety. We're limiting their time on the field.
Yeah, that's why college football brought in that 2-minute warning, player safety.
That's right. That's exactly what they said.
Not to squeeze 2 minutes of commercials out, Woody.
Not because Budweiser was asking for one more, Or another drug company needs to heart one more product.
Yeah.
They're sort of like when you're married, you have selective amnesia. You hear what you want to hear, and you forget what you want to forget. Sometimes they enforce the rules, but only when it's convenient for them.
Exactly. I mean, just you see that, and I mean, I know Eric. I give Eric McKnight a hard time being an official and all, and I pick on him, but some of these things are honest. As an honest person sitting there, you watch these things develop in these ball games, and you have to go, okay, there's no way there wasn't some discussion prior to, and we saw with the NBA official that got in trouble for gambling years ago. I mean, he openly said, I would bet on games, especially because I knew this particular crew was going to that stadium at that night to call a ball game, and I knew the guy leading the crew had a beef with the head coach. He wasn't going to get a single break that night, so he'd bet against that team, knowing the officiating crew did not like the coach. And that stuff's got to stop.
Yeah. They're supposed to be non-biased, sort of like the news, but that works out either, is it?
No, not at all. None of that anymore. I mean,
all right, guys, I appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir. And you got to be a perfect person not to let some of the bias get you.
Well,
But for me, if I lived in South Carolina and I was an official, I don't think it'd be right of me to be calling games for a team that I root for. I think I need to be sent somewhere else.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the biggest problem, isn't it? With refereeing and umpiring.
They're all regional.
We're all humans.
And they're human. But they keep those guys in a regional circle.
Yeah, they do. But 843-407-5812 is the number, 843-407-5812. We got a ton of stuff we can get to.
Yeah, and we, again, are live from the Florence Toyota studios.
There we go. And make sure we get that sponsor.
Yeah, we need to.
We're like we're like college football. We got to add the 2-minute break just so we can.
Every sponsor for everything.
It's sports commentator safety.
Yeah, I can to do my friend there, Greg, a favor. We're talking to you live through the Utz Chips microphones today in the Florence Toyota studios.
We are looking for sponsorships. See, we're not like NASCAR. Going to take the sponsors off the.
We got to have them on everything. I got my Floor Boys headset on.
We need our headset sponsored. The door needs to be sponsored. Our chairs need to be sponsored. I mean, so we got sponsorships. You just call call up 843-678-9393.
That's right. We're doing
on Monday.
Our friends a favor with some of the shout outs this morning. So
hey, we got a console that needs to be sponsored too.
Yeah, I mean, I'll find us one in a second. Give me a minute. I'm sure I can find one.
Now, speaking of giving you a minute, I'm going to give you about 4.
All right.
Back in a minute.
Hello, everybody. This is Donnie Daniel with Daniel Wealth Management. Who is Daniel Wealth Management? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. At Daniel Wealth Management, we care and listen. We strive to protect, manage, and grow your future vision of life. We do this with character, integrity, and confidence as we seek to earn your trust and celebrate life's journeys together.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.
Are you feeling run down? Struggling to keep up with life's demands? At Practical Purpose Solutions, they're here to help you reset, physically and mentally. Kendra Robinson, family nurse practitioner, and her amazing staff specialize in nutrient infusion therapy, designed to restore your energy and health with up to 100% vitamin absorption. Whether you're battling fatigue, post-cold symptoms, anxiety, or depression, or just need the energy boost, they have the perfect IV infusion for you. From sports recovery to immune support, GI and respiratory recovery, jet lag relief, and even post-surgery aid, their infusions are customized for your specific needs. Or are you looking to enhance your beauty routine, relax and rejuvenate in as little as 45 to 60 minutes? They offer concierge services as well. At Practical Purpose Solutions, book your appointment today at practicalpurposesolutions.com or call 843-799-2210. They're conveniently located at 2011 Second Loop Road, Suite A. Practical Purpose Solutions, where vitality meets convenience.
In the heart of South Carolina, where the spirit of celebration thrives, there's a place unlike any other. Mickey Finn's your one-stop party destination. With 3 locations, Cashua Drive, Pamplico Highway, and their huge beverage warehouse on Dr. Johnny Bruce Road next to Buc-ee's. Step into a world of endless possibilities, where the shelves are filled with the largest selection of beer, wine, and liquor, each bottle carrying its own story of flavor and enjoyment. Sign up today for Mickey Finn's customer rewards. Mickey Finn says, we drink all we can and sell the rest.
This is Robbie Nally from CRW Insurance. Let's face it, insurance needs are typically not on your mind until a loss occurs. Don't wait for that severe storm or auto accident to determine if you have the right coverage. Let us help you prepare today for tomorrow's unexpected. Simply call 803-775-1168 or stop by our Sumter location at 25 East Calhoun Street or our Manning location at 117 South Brook Street to discuss and review your current insurance needs.
Are you tired of hearing strange noises coming from your car? Do you need to get your vehicle serviced but don't have time to do it yourself? Look no further than Tim's Auto Pro. Their highly skilled, certified technicians have years of experience and are equipped with the latest tools to get your car running like new again. They offer a variety of services, from routine maintenance to major repairs, at competitive prices. Don't let car problems stress you out any longer. Tim's Auto Pro, the only place to go. 2685 Peach Orchard Road in Dazzell or online at timsautopro.com.
Prescription opioids can be addictive and dangerous.
We were driving to the supermarket, and as we entered the parking lot, a car ran a stop sign and completely T-boned us. When I was first prescribed my prescription pain meds, there was nobody to tell me these have a really high potential for addiction. How could I be addicted? I get these from my doctor.
Prescription opioids. It only takes a little to lose a lot. Visit cdc.gov/RxAwareness.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Clemson, Carolina, Coastal. We've got you covered on game day in the Carolinas.
It's game day in the Carolinas, 843-407-5812. And we have the biggest news that you've been dying to hear.
We've been getting calls all morning for it.
All morning, begging us. Please tell us. I will tell you. The Jellos.
Jellos.
Rocco's Jello Shot Challenge The Jello's Rocco shot challenge.
That's right.
I'm making up new things today. All right, obviously you know who's in first place. We don't even have to tell you.
Hands down.
Yeah, nobody else, by the way, has broken 10,000. Just to let you know. LSU 30,577. Second place is Arkansas. I guess they needed a couple.
They needed it. They needed some consolation after that game.
Yeah, they moved up into second place after they lost that game. 88-54. Shockingly, Murray State. Yes, they went 2 in Q.
Mm.
And Murray State is still in third place. 81-94. Coastal's catching up. Coastal sitting in fourth place, 75-09. I'm very disappointed in Coastal.
Well, you know, Coastal's got a good bit of that Teal Army out there, but they don't have the numbers that LSU has.
That is true. And, well, they also don't have the guy from, what is it? Not Kickin' Chicken. What's that big chicken? Not KFC. Obviously not KFC.
Zaxby's?
No. Why am I forgetting the name of that chicken joint?
Dave's Hot Chicken?
Yeah, I think that is either Dave's Hot Chicken or something else. Wicked Chicken or...
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about. He's big out there, too.
He went to LSU.
And they're not that good. Dave's, yeah. No, Dave's is the hot chicken, but his is...
find out. LSU chicken...
Oh, I've eaten in the restaurant before, and it's okay chicken. It's not really seasoned. And neither the just basic crinkle cut fries that they use, not seasoned either, like, you know, Zaxby seasons all their stuff.
I can't remember.
You got Dave's. Oh, you're going to make me have to look now, too. Where's ChatGPT when you need it?
Yeah. Anyways, he's always the one that comes in and buys a whole bunch of stuff, like right near the end. He's the reason why they got over the 40,000 like they did. I cannot remember that, but that's gonna slow the show down now.
No, it won't slow it down too bad.
But yeah, he comes in.
Raising Cane's.
Thank you. That's what it is, because he went to LSU.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so he goes and he buys a bunch of shots at the end. That technically is cheating, but if somebody's drinking them, I guess it ain't really cheating. So.
Well, you know, when you ask ChatGPT for the top 5, it's not Zaxby's isn't in there. Neither is Dave's.
Zaxby's not in the top 5.
They don't even get an honorable mention.
Really? Wait, Zaxby's is not even in the top 5.
No, it's Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Raising Cane's, Bojangles, and then Hattie B's Hot Chicken or Prince's. It was originally Prince's, and that's Hattie B's. Nashville style heat.
We're just going to have to shut ChatGPT down.
I think so.
Don't ever boycott ChatGPT.
They call Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's a fast, consistent classic.
I mean, Raising Cane's is pretty good.
It's okay.
It ain't Zaxby's. It ain't that Zax snack.
No, it's not the big Zax snack. I like the Kickin' Chicken sandwich myself.
Kickin' Chicken's good, yeah.
So, and the messier the better. That thing's running down your arm. Don't wear nothing white because you'll have it all over you.
That's the whole point.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to ruin your clothes either.
No, you don't.
Incur a dry cleaning bill.
Well, I mean that's the whole point. Food in the South, ain't it? If it ain't.
Well, yeah. If you're not wearing it, it wasn't any good.
Exactly. But there you go. That's your top 4 because I mean nobody else is worth mentioning. Louisville finally cracked 2,000. So did Oregon State. UCLA is in last place at 1556. Arizona 1803. I mean they're not even worth mentioning.
Are they still running it though? Will they run it through the final?
Yes, it goes until they crown a national champion. So Monday,
okay, and
Sunday or Monday.
Just for people that don't know, there's a local establishment called Rocco's right there in Omaha, and it's a bar, obviously, and they're doing Jello shots at $5 a pop, and you go in by team, and they keep a track of who buys what. All that money goes to their local food bank.
And if you're wondering, they put this up a couple of days ago, which I thought was awesome. Actually, no, this was from last year. Last year, they raised $145,000 for their local food banks.
Mm-hmm. And there's a running tally almost every day of the tournament they put up online. So that's why we're talking about this. It's become a kind of a big thing they like to touch on, at least on every broadcast or close to it. So
there you go. Yeah.
And we didn't really talk about it, but we did mention it just a minute ago with the Rocco Shot Jello Challenge exponentially doubled after Arkansas's loss. How about that? It's a meltdown defensively within just a few years of one another.
You just feel bad for
I feel bad for Van Horn.
Yeah, but I also feel bad for the kid in left.
Well, it wasn't all his fault.
No, I mean, he legitimately, because you watch it, I remember I watched it at real speed, and I'm like, well, why the hell is that kid diving?
Yeah, why'd he miss it?
And
even in the dive, I mean, you can't believe he missed it.
And then when you go back and you look, it's like, oh, he didn't dive.
He fell.
He slipped, yeah. And didn't they have, what was it, another one that was like, it was another one this year, right? That was like, a matter of fact, I think Coastal ended up a victim of it. Was fan interference.
Could have been. Yeah, well, they had. Well, there was one that bounced in the outfield, but that didn't hurt anybody or anything. But
no, I'm just saying that
it's
Arkansas's got to be cursed.
But there was a couple of different plays that led up before that line drive. I mean, the shortstop electing not to turn two, but going for the lead runner at third.
Right.
They could have easily turned two and gotten out of that inning.
Maybe sacrifice a guy on. You're right. Sacrifice a guy on third, just get the two and stay the hell with it.
He wouldn't have scored in time.
But you got that. You got the 2008, not 2018, not 2008, where the second baseman, the right fielder, and the first baseman all converged, and all one of them had to do was stick their glove out. It falls right in the middle of them.
Dead center of all three.
That's like, I mean, it's stuff. You and I both have called baseball and played baseball. And when I tell you this, if you've never fully watched a baseball game, there is stuff that you literally think can only happen in a movie that will happen in a baseball game. I watched, and I know I've probably told this story to death, but the year that the Pettit Cup was in Florence at Legion Field, the Red Wolves played the final game that night. They were winning that game by, I think, 1 run. And I mean, no wind all night. No wind all night long. It was a nice, beautiful night until the 9th inning. Then a ball that the third baseman was completely under it, and I don't know where it came from, but there was a gust of wind that blows that ball off the track. It ends up going off his glove. So technically it's a fair ball.
Mm-hmm.
They score 2 runs and lose.
Mm.
And it's as unbelievable as it sounds, these things happen.
Yeah.
So, good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I ain't going to tell you my name. Good morning, boys.
Good morning. Gamecock for life. How are you, sir?
Got to leave y'all in suspense and let you guess for a minute.
What's going on, Gamecock?
So regardless with the Arkansas, the kid in left field, that happened. He tripped, fell, whatever. The bonehead play of the day was the shortstop that took the lead runner instead of taking a double play.
Agreed. Yep.
You should be in the game enough to know what you have to do at every at bat.
Yep.
He forgot where he was and what was happening.
No, and yeah, you're right. And I've seen that so many times in just about every single game. Somebody will forget. Either it's the number outs or what, but.
And on the flip side, just like college football, you got to remember that these are kids.
Yep.
There is pressure that we're not seeing sitting on the couch watching it on TV. And sometimes it gets tough.
Well, it does. At least with the kid in left field, the consolation I took away from it, and I don't have any fault. I wonder how you miss it, but slip, whatever, bug in your eye, there's a lot of things could happen. At least he was attempting to make a defensive play on the ball rather than having 3 players standing around watching one fall between them.
Yes.
That's the worst look, I think, of all of it a few years back when they were playing Oregon State. They have 3 players standing right there, each of them looking at one another, and the ball lands squarely in the middle of all 3.
That's a lack of communication.
I mean, they were close enough they could put an arm out and touch one another, and the ball lands between them.
Well, wasn't it one of the Coastal games earlier last week where they come back at the bottom of the 9th, or it was right there at it, but the kid hit it to left field instead of the left fielder making the one hop. He went and dove for it, completely missed it, and it bounced off the wall, and the guy made it to third.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, he tried to make a defensive play, tried to be the hero, I said, when all he had to do was just, I grew up playing outfield. I was a center fielder. I was a left fielder. You got to know.
Yeah.
There ain't no way. I think I can, but let's play it safe.
Yeah.
Keep the game in check.
I had a coach that was exactly like that. He used to scream at the outfielders all the time. Don't you think about trying to make that Sports Center catch.
Yeah.
Just go and do basic fundamentals. If it bounces in front of you, at least it's not behind you.
Well, and you look at the turning to electing to take the lead runner instead of taking the double. I mean, infield's supposed to communicate with one another. And I remember playing infield in high school and stuff, and you're talking to second base, shortstop's talking, hey, to my left, I'm coming to you. My right, I'm going this way. You had that conversation. Your bag, my bag. It was constantly, and if you weren't talking, you were giving some sort of signal. You touched the top of your head or whatever it was to let them know you were covering.
Well,
they didn't have any communication.
Even in a fly ball situation, I remember a few of my coaches growing up. That all the time they're like, communicate.
Always talking.
Even if you're screaming, mine, just say something. That right there is a huge lack of communication.
Well, South Carolina's coach, I think, in that article and some of the other discussions off on the line or as in response to that article was saying that there was a lot of situational non-coaching that was not happening in practices and stuff like that. And I just find it hard to believe that Van Horn would be one of those guys caught up in that. That was just a judgment error in the moment, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Well, for the shortstop at Arkansas, he better be glad that the kid in left field missed it because he's the one that took all the crap for it.
That's right. And he's the one that felt the worst. I mean, that kid cried. I think he's still crying. And I don't blame him.
Did you see that press conference?
That press conference was hard to watch.
That was tough.
And one of the players didn't even show.
That was worse than any soap opera I've ever seen.
Yeah. I think it was the second baseman.
Yeah, they didn't even show.
Because because a lot of people forget about this, LSU, I think it was on the winning run, if I'm not mistaken, from LSU. That's the one that bounced over the second baseman's glove, like it touched the top of his glove and ended up in the outfield.
Yep. But, I mean, that was a hard hop to field anyway.
Oh, I mean, he was full extension.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Now, back to the other. So, I was thinking about what rule would I change?
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, you could change it, but they would still find ways about getting around it. But not opening the transfer portal till after bowl games.
No, I would agree. I think that's a good rule to change.
That one drives me nuts worse than anything because, there's 45 other kids on that team that are not going pro that want to be a fixture in that bowl game. That bowl game means something to most of the people on the team because, 90% of the team is not going pro.
Yeah, that's true.
They should not let them, the stars opt out of the bowl game. That's still a game on the season. It draws a lot of money. But fans are not watching the bowl games like they used to because the stars are gone.
Yeah, you're right. And they're not getting the betting results are skewed, and that's a big deal too. Those guys want to bet money on everything.
That's kind of the beauty of having the schools pay it. If you put them in a contract, you can at least go, hey, we'll throw you $10,000, $15,000 playing a bowl game.
Well, you're going to see contracts written too, like you do in the pros, where these players are going to get a bonus if they make bowl games or if they make national championships or if they hit certain yardage or performance milestones. They're going to do. They're already doing it for classroom work now.
I was about to say that was going to be my other thing. People forget. Listen, these kids keep bringing up the coaches every time. The coach gets this. The coach gets that. The coach gets. Well, the coach also gets an academic bonus.
That's right.
He keeps that APR above a certain level. He gets money. They stay above a certain GPA level. I think one of them, I think it's a Beamer, gets $50,000 for keeping his team GPA above 3. I would so do that with the kids in a heartbeat. Hey, you keep your GPA above 3.5, we'll give you $10,000. You keep it, 4 or above, because I know some of them's got that wacky whatever where you can get a 5. You keep it above a 4, we'll give you, $30,000 or something like that. That's hell of an incentive right there.
I agree.
But the NIL, that bothers me, but there's nothing that's ever going to happen to it. It's always going to be there unless they figure out how to cap it.
They're supposed to.
But the kids leave, or just even letting the kids leave early. If say they're going to give Woody Fagan, $2.5 million to play for the University of Radio, he's signing a 4-year contract, and he's going to be there for 4 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the other part I don't like is kids leaving early. These are 20, 21-year-old kids going out signing, $40 million contracts with the NFL and don't know what it ruins lives. It's a ton of money that the kids aren't ready for.
Well, some of that could be altered if they changed a few of the other rules, because I think the NCAA and some of the universities went out there and did it too. I think South Carolina did. I'm pretty sure Clemson did. That if you go on there and you're offered a scholarship to play ball at South Carolina, whether you play another day of ball at South Carolina or not, once you sign that offer, you've got a scholarship, University of South Carolina. There's nothing for them to lose.
Or bring in buyouts, but make the buyouts.
You can make it a buyout.
Pain in the butt.
Yeah. But the other colleges that are recruiting them away have to pay it.
Yes.
So
essentially, it becomes pro.
Do you guys so has there been any proof of Lenora Sellers' dad and the $8 million? I heard you talking about it a little bit ago about, nobody's confirmed what's, not that we want to know what school. I just want to know if that was actually confirmed or if it's just hype.
It's not hype. Lenora Sellers and his family, his parents, from my observations and the interactions I've had with limited members of his family, they're honest people. Honest, hardworking, good as gold people, and he wouldn't lie about it.
Here's the thing about it, though. You'll never find out because it's technically still against the rules.
Rumor was it was Georgia, but who knows? That rumor's floating around.
Georgia's got Gunnar Stockton.
Yeah, but you got proven SEC talent that can lead a team.
You got a point.
And Georgia doesn't have that. Gunner's still a question mark.
That's true.
Don't get me wrong. I was not knocking the integrity of the Sellers family. I'm just talking about the whole story and how bad it's getting blown out. And, that's all I've seen on whatever media platform I'm looking at is the $8 million buyout. If it happened, I truly believe Lenoris wouldn't have taken it because, he
wants to play with his
brother. He's a hometown boy.
Yeah.
And he's got his brother there. And
it says a lot for that, but what other people have not, but some people have pointed it out, but not many people are talking about it. Dylan Stewart turned down pretty close to the same amount of money to stay in South Carolina, too. And that says a lot about him. It says a lot about really more to the point of what Beamer is doing with that environment. So,
yep, and that's why I said I think it's going to be Carolina's time to shine for a while. I hope it is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just like Clemson, he had the great run for several years, but just like everything else in sports world,
it's cyclical.
You can only sit at the top of the mountain for so long.
Yeah. I mean, Alabama, we've seen that. I mean, they're still a good team, but they're slightly tarnished here lately. And there's people that are already speculating that the coach won't make it through this season from Alabama.
No,
he'll be gone.
DeBoer will make it. I'm not
already seeing that, though. I'm already seeing those articles.
The only coach in the state of Alabama that's getting fired, well, there might actually be two. The two coaches that will get fired in the state of Alabama this year is Trent Dilfer and Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I've seen speculation on Hugh. They're both on the coach's hot seat.
Yep.
So with that, I'm on the mindset of, even though it was named Doran, Alabama's coach, he gets fired this year. Let's go back to Steve Muschamp. How much money did he make for getting fired?
A ton.
A lot.
He didn't have to coach anymore.
Sign me up. I can be the worst coach in college football for $45 million.
Exactly.
I tell you what, that's what I've always told Matt. We have not figured out how to fail upward. I mean, I want to fail upward so badly.
I was just about to say, you could be such a failure in college that you end up with the NFL job.
That's true.
I've said, and Muschamp proved the point. I didn't like it when they hired him on. I never liked Steve Muschamp, but holy cow, was that a smart and dumb coach?
Yeah.
Getting paid by 3 schools at one time. I mean, that's pretty good.
You ain't lying.
Absolutely. He doesn't ever have to coach anything again.
No.
He can go buy his own island somewhere and say, flip the bird and drink a beer.
That's funny you bring that up because there was a meme that put out there. There's been a bunch of them this week with Father's Day and all this stuff, but there was one. It was this big list, and it says things you can buy with $8 million.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a private island in the Caribbean, 150,000 PS5 players, 155,000 Chick-fil-A sandwiches or something crazy like that. And then it said things you can't buy with $8 million. And there was a picture of Lenora Sellers underneath it. I love
Which
it.
is awesome. Was awesome for the integrity of South Carolina.
It says
that's
a lot
probably
for
like
him.
one of the biggest PR pushes they could have never bought.
Yeah, see, that's why I brought that up with the whole who does that benefit? I think Beamer would have loved, even if it wasn't Lenoris' dad.
Yeah.
I think Beamer would have loved for that to slip out into the media somehow, because then he could use that as a recruiting tactic.
Well,
going, hey, we got schools that are throwing our kids $8 million and they don't want to leave.
Well, it's got other kids that are looking and
Saying,
wondering.
what's going
These
on?
5-star recruits going, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
If Lenoris is staying home for $8 million, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
I want to play with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can believe some of those receivers, the defensive guys, all of them. They see the tape on a kid like Sellers and, Stewart and those guys, and they're like, man, that guy's a beast. I want to play with that guy. I want to be his teammate. Because they also asked Dylan Stewart, was there a particular quarterback he was looking forward to sacking this year in the SEC? You know what he said?
Diego Pavia?
No. He said, nah, all of them.
Yeah.
He said he was looking forward to hitting all of them.
Although I will say this, I will take extreme pleasure in somebody just knocking out Diego Pavia.
I'm with you.
Not injuring him. Please
Just
don't think I'm cheering
rattle
for
the
injury.
cage.
Yeah, just knock him out for a couple of plays just to shut him up.
Yeah, it's getting to be annoying.
Yep. Getting to be.
I have a decent tolerance for pain. So
Yeah. Been married for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah. Sorry, honey. Put that frying pan
no
away.
offense, but we all know.
Oh,
all right,
Lord.
well, boys, I hope y'all have a great day. It's good to talk to you. Sorry, I have not talked to y'all since Charlotte and that little mix-up where I probably blew out your speakers or something because the track was pretty loud.
It was funny. I mean, we liked it. We appreciated you trying.
I tried. Hey, about the time I remembered, like, holy cow, it's like 10 minutes till. And, then I call in and I'm put on hold while the track was cool. And one of you two just would not quit talking for a second to pick up the line. And about the time you picked up the line, track's hot. And I'm like, well, damn. So I had one lap to give you a report from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Jeez.
But it was great. We'll give you guys a call back. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy the show.
All right.
too.
Thank you, Gamecock. All right.
Take care.
843-475-8112, 843-407-5812. Oh, I thought you were showing me one finger there for a second.
No. Why would I do that? Not that finger.
Not that finger, people. The one that's like, hey, hold on, I got something to say. I'm seeing things today. Was it the Captain Butt Fumble? I'm seeing ghosts.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, it's Tony Zach with Mr. Sparky. Our team is available 24/7. We stand ready to help you with any of your electrical emergencies or your electrical upgrades. We install generators, surge protection, help troubleshoot electrical issues, and much more. Our technicians are drug tested and background checked for your safety. Call us or book online. Mr. Sparky, we'll be right over.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nothing says tradition like your hometown Piggly Wiggly. Take it from the pig. When it comes to value and freshness, you can't beat Piggly Wiggly. They've been bringing home the bacon for millions of American families for over 100 years. Today, they're one of the best known and best loved brands in America. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly today and take home the freshest meats, vegetables, and produce, along with great deals on all your favorite brands. Each week, the pig features new specials, perfect for your tailgating parties and family mealtime.
In the heart of South Carolina, where the spirit of celebration thrives, there's a place unlike any other. Mickey Finn's your one-stop party destination with 3 locations, Cashua Drive, Pamplico Highway, and their huge beverage warehouse on Dr. Johnny Bruce Road next to Buc-ee's. Step into a world of endless possibilities where the shelves are filled with the largest selection of beer, wine, and liquor, each bottle carrying its own story of flavor and enjoyment. Sign up today for Mickey Finn's customer rewards. Mickey Finn says, we drink all we can and sell the rest.
Hello, everybody. This is Donnie Daniel with Daniel Wealth Management. Who is Daniel Wealth Management? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. At Daniel Wealth Management, we care and listen. We strive to protect, manage, and grow your future vision of life. We do this with character, integrity, and confidence as we seek to earn your trust and celebrate life's journeys together.
Securities and investment and advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.
This summer, dive into hassle-free pool care with Carolina Pool Pro. Serving Florence and Darlington County, they handle it all. Weekly cleanings, maintenance repairs, liner replacements, and leak detection. And they're hiring. If you're motivated, eager to learn, and have a valid SC driver's license, join their team as a swimming pool tech. Experience is a plus, but they'll train the right person. Call or text Jimmy today at 843-857-9773. Carolina Pool Pro, your pool's best friend.
Family vacation time, and you're all set to go.
John, ready? I talked to the neighbors about picking up our mail. The Avery son will water the grass. The car had the oil changed and tire pressure checked. The thermostat is slightly higher. Everything is packed, and the kids and our luggage are now waiting in the car. Ready?
But what about CarolinaZaves.com? What deals will we be missing this Friday at 10 a.m.?
Kids, out of the car.
Don't worry, week after week, there will be plenty of great deals available. So feel free to take that family vacation. Log on to CarolinaSaves.com.
At Practical Purpose Solutions, your health and wellness is their priority. Need a quick and convenient solution? Book your telehealth visit today, all from the comfort of your home. Need a DOT physical or sports physical? They are perfect for parents looking to avoid long wait times. If you're looking for quality primary care, insured or uninsured, and with a reliable physician, contact them. Feeling run down? Their concierge hydration service comes to you within 30 miles. Groups are welcome. Whether you're battling fatigue, cold symptoms, or if you just need an energy boost. Even personalized nutrition plans and supplements for skin conditions like eczema and dry skin. Try their medically supervised fat dissolving services for targeted areas like the abdomen or chin. Ready to feel your best? Book your appointment today at practicalpurposesolutions.com or call 843-799-2210. Located at 2011 Second Loop Road, Suite A. Practical Purpose Solutions.
Are you ready to elevate your drive? Cruise into summer with a 2025 Toyota Camry from Florence Toyota. Lease it now for just $336 a month for 36 months, or own it with 3.99% APR financing with no money down for well-qualified buyers. But hurry, this offer ends June 30th. Visit Florence Toyota at 2300 West Palmetto Street or shop online anytime at FlorenceToyota.com. Florence Toyota, where we are just better. See dealer for full details.
This is Robbie Nally from CRW Insurance. Let's face it, insurance needs are typically not on your mind until a loss occurs. Don't wait for that severe storm or auto accident to determine if you have the right coverage. Let us help you prepare today for tomorrow's unexpected. Simply call 803-775-1168 or stop by our Sumter location at 25 East Calhoun Street or our Manning location at 117 South Brook Street to discuss and review your current insurance needs.
When car trouble strikes, remember Tim's Auto Pro is here to make your life easier. They offer complete preventative maintenance and full automotive repair on most makes and models, including imports, at rates that won't break the bank. Is your AC on the fritz? They can service it. Need a front-end alignment? They got you covered. Tire pressure's monitoring system acting up? Go see them. When life gets busy and car trouble strikes, remember Tim's Auto Pro, the only place to go. 2685 Peach Orchard Road in Dalzell. Online at timsautopro.com.
I'm here with Coach Carter, who just won a game against their biggest rivals. Tell us how you're feeling, Coach.
I'm feeling great. This was a huge win for us tonight, and we couldn't have done it without every single member of the team. It's kind of like FTC's roster of services. Now there's a winning lineup. From internet and wireless to phone, security, and TV, these team players all play a critical role in making FTC your all-in-one technology company.
Now that sounds like a winning combination.
Get in the game with FTC, your all-in-one technology company. Stop by a local FTC store or visit FTC.net.
Hey, it's Tony Zach with Mr. Sparky. If you're thinking of buying a whole house generator this year, then it's a great time to buy one. Briggs & Stratton are American made and have a 10-year warranty. Due to the great response, we're offering a $500 credit towards the purchase of a Briggs & Stratton generator now through June 30th. We have plenty of inventory. Call us, Mr. Sparky. We'll be right over.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
WOLH Florence, and WDXY Sumter. It's game day in the Carolinas.
It's 11 o'clock already.
Golly.
Fastest 2 hours in spurts. Right here. It is game day in the Carolinas. I'm Maddie's Woody. 843-407-5812. 843-407-5812. And there's a lot of news out there. What you got?
Yeah, I'm performing handicap today. I'm trying out something new.
Mm-hmm.
I'll appreciate any advice or prayers because I'm I'm trying contacts out today for the first time, and I feel like my eyes have done nothing but water since I put them in. So I'm hanging in.
Good work. I mean, you're doing a good job. You made it an hour.
Made it this far.
There you go. Dragging it. Hey, this news kind of broke, I want to say yesterday or earlier this week. Yeah, it was actually yesterday the article was written. College football is going to end up a lot like high school football in the state, apparently. Remember how when we were first starting to call games, Woody, week 0 was like 5, maybe 5,
There's
6,
no such
7,
thing
8
as
teams.
week 0.
But you get it, right?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, only like a handful of teams have played in that week. And then eventually now they found out, hey, wait a minute, why don't we move that bye to right before the region? And now everybody plays week 0, which makes no sense of why we play week 0 anymore. College football may be going down that route. Instead of its traditional Labor Day weekend start, they might move the schedule up a week and give everybody 2 byes. But I guess technically now they get 2 byes. You get your first bye on week 0. I ain't cool with that. I like the Labor Day start. Why are we starting it on? Because you and I both have asked that question before. Why the hell are we playing high school football in August? In some cases, we're playing, week 1, week 0, week 1 before the kids are even in school. Now college wants to do it.
Money.
It's got to be money.
Money grab. I say, it's for player safety. We got to figure some way to frame that around player safety.
That's right, because making those kids play and
maybe they just got out of their camp, so they're probably in the best shape of their life at that point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you start them early.
So that means we can back up practice to the start of July, right?
Well, that's probably one of the other things. We can start practicing earlier, in the off season,
because kids don't die in high school football practice because we start them in the middle of July when it's 108 degrees outside. The heat index makes it 150.
I just want them to go ahead and start calling things for what they are. If you're playing games, there's no week 0.
It's week 1.
If you're the only team playing, maybe we can call that still week 0 and you decided to play early. But when at least half the state is playing, it's week 1.
It's week 1. Just get rid of 0.
That's just stupid.
Or as I like to call it, the week that shall not be named. I mean, it just blows my mind that we still call it week 0. But yeah, it looks like college football wants to start moving a lot of games, especially their big money games, to the last week of August or the week before Labor Day. I guess that would be the way to look at it, since sometimes Labor Day is the last week of August. Iowa State and Kansas State are going to play each other in Dublin on August the 23rd. And TCU is scheduled to open the 26th season against North Carolina and Ireland. Pitt and Wisconsin will go on in 2027. That Aer Lingus game. Well, that's the name of it.
I know, airline. But I mean, just one more reason to go off somewhere.
Right. So now everybody's got to play the Ireland game. I mean, how much longer before we're starting to play, regular season college football games in Germany? Well, I mean, the NFL's done it right. We got to do that. Why not? Let's go ahead and go play in Canada. Play one in Japan. Why not have Oregon State and Washington State play the Pac-12 championship game in Japan? I mean, it's a little ridiculous. I'm not even going to lie, but guess who's on board with this? This is how I know it's going to happen. Greg Sankey has come out and said that he wants a consistent starting date for every team.
I don't think that's wrong.
It's not wrong, but the consistent starting date should be Labor Day weekend. Let's just be honest.
I agree. That always makes it tough on us, though.
Yeah. I know it's extra. Well, I mean, by that time, we're so flooded trying to get back into our.
Well, we're doing NASCAR that weekend.
Yeah.
We got to start a college football that weekend.
Yeah.
All of them starting would be tough. So they'd either start it the week before or the week after.
Well, we got one. Okay, this year's a good example of that. This is why I don't like the game on Sunday. Is the South Carolina game is what? 3:00 Sunday.
Yeah, that keep that.
And the race starts at 6.
Yeah.
They're not going to be done by 6. You'll be lucky they're done by 7. So basically, you're going to miss half the race because college football wants to play on Sunday. Sorry. It should be. No, not sorry. But, high school football is played on Friday night. College football is played on Saturday. Unless you play in the MAC, then you're played on Tuesday. And NFL football should be played on Sunday. Anybody else? I just think this is stupid. I really do. I think moving up, because selfishly for people like you and me, we're just getting settled into the fall routine at that point. I mean, that week is chaotic for us because you're right. We had that extra stress of getting everything ready for our race updates the next week. But it's, the first week of high school football. So we're all working on new schedules, lack of sleep, going into the Saturday shows. Mm-hmm. We don't need college football thrown on top of that.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I mean, again, it's all down to money and TV rights and TV time. And that's what's going to dictate all that. And they'll make sure they make every possible wrong decision for it based on the dollar amount and based on what pretty much the networks tell them.
Yeah. I don't mind that like a handful of teams play a week 0. I don't mind that. I don't mind that, it's only a handful of teams and they just want to get their season over with. I got it. But, I mean, you're going to trade it off for another bye week? Why not move the season up a week? But then your rivalry games wouldn't fall on Thanksgiving weekend.
That's right.
So,
well, they were wanting them to move it last year, weren't they? They approached South Carolina and Clemson both about moving it
to Black Friday.
Yeah. They both said no to that.
Oh, because Black Friday is big in this state because that's the semifinals for the state championship.
Yep. Well, it used to be Big Thursday.
Right.
When it first started.
Yeah, the game was on Thanksgiving.
I'd have been almost a bigger fan to do it that way than move it to a Friday.
I'm kind of with you on that.
Go back to the old schedule at least.
To me, Friday should be the meaningless rivalries, like your Egg Bowl.
Yeah.
Anybody who's not really into or going to be a factor of the national championship tournament.
Yeah.
Play those rivalry games on a Friday because nobody's going to be watching because they're all going to be out at the store cussing out employees.
The cool part about this, and it's finally it feels like it's getting to that point, what I've always wanted, where that game between Clemson and South Carolina means something, not just states bragging rights. It's going to mean
if both teams live up to their potential this year, that game may determine who gets an at-large spot.
I want it to be consequential. I've always wanted that game because to me it's a big game.
That's why I'm all for if we go to a place around 2030 where we do have this college football, whatever you want to call it, the split, as we've been calling it. Do it regionally, so that way South Carolina and Clemson always have a game of consequence.
Well, you can look at it this past season. I mean, that was part of the argument that South Carolina fans and a lot of other sports people felt that South Carolina, because of their performance against Clemson, would have should have sprung them in or landed them in a playoff spot. So it was a game of consequence. Now, if they had gotten even a remotely a fair shake in the LSU officiating, I can say what you want. I'm not a bitter fan.
You may lose that game, but
you just have to like football. You got to watch that game. I mean, that game was just terribly officiated.
Yeah.
Now, they gotten a fair shake in that game and pulled out even a meager win against LSU, and then you go in and pull out a small margin win against Clemson. That puts you in the playoffs. That puts you in,
no matter what you did against Alabama.
Again, that game, and Clemson still makes the playoffs too in light of their conference standing.
Well,
it's a game of consequence.
I was going to say, Clemson made it because they won the conference, yeah. But I don't know where we go from here.
And throw this out there, too, from other fans out there like Stevie Ray Cusack, I know riding around right now, probably thinks, oh, he's just down in Clemson. No. Clemson earned that spot.
They did.
And probably gave us the best game of all the playoff games.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, even in a losing effort, that was the better game to watch out of all of them that I saw.
They were the only team that didn't get blown out.
Yeah. It was competitive.
Now, granted, I was about to say, yeah, we can say it's competitive, but did we think Clemson had a chance in that game? Not really. Because, I mean, Texas was just playing out of their mind that game.
Agreed.
I think that's one of those things, if Dabo would have said it after the game, 9 times out of 10, we would probably win that game. I would actually agree with him because Texas was just playing out of their freaking mind that night. We never gave Texas the proper amount of credit for that game.
No.
And Dabo will tell you, they were just a better team that night.
Mm-hmm.
So, I said,
who knew the whole time they got a Heisman candidate on the bench?
Oh yeah.
Played a total of 2 games, but he's already the leading contender for the Heisman this year.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, leading contender
against a watered down Mississippi State team, and who was the other one?
Mop up duty.
Yeah.
Everybody looks like a Heisman Trophy winner in mop up duty because those kids on defense don't want to be there.
Yeah. He had 2 starts all season against, again, a Mississippi State team that was washed up for the most part, and then it was Tarleton State or somebody they played.
Speaking of Mississippi State, if that coach wins 4 games this year, I want him signed to a lifetime contract.
He probably should.
Oh, my gosh. That is – don't get me started on them. I feel like I'm taking unnecessary shots.
I mean, I can't remember if he's on the coach's hot seat list or not, but he might be.
No, that's a new coach.
He's had 1
second
year.
That's
right.
That's the second year.
So, yeah, he's probably okay for now.
Because they fired the coach that took over after Mike Leach died 7 games into the season.
Yep.
I'll just leave it at that.
Because that guy wasn't good enough, apparently.
I mean,
I still don't like that. It still sticks in my craw.
It's just, it's like, that would be like if Virginia fired Tony Elliott the season after he had 3 kids shot and killed on his team.
It sits right up there with that.
I mean, I'm glad that Virginia didn't do it, but there's another coach that's probably on the hot seat this year.
Let me see. I'll go look at my hot seat coaches. Let's see.
Yeah, we need to bring that up.
Okay, my hot seat coaches. Oh, got a phone call, too.
Yeah, so while you're looking it up, I'm going to take the phone call. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, guys. It's Ray. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Ray.
Hey, I tried to remind myself to call you last week because I was going to give you a hard time and call you guys Mike Greenberg.
Oh, that's low.
With all the vacation time you've been taking.
Yeah. 2 whole Saturdays of the year.
But you know what? I mean, it's the summertime. Everybody takes vacation in the summer, man.
Yeah.
Nobody misses you till you're gone. So.
Well, that's a compliment too.
That's how our families are going to be. They're not going to miss us till we're gone.
Yeah.
So. I don't wish ill will on anybody, but I had to make a trip across Florence, and the State Patrol is out increasing their revenue today. They've got the dudes out on the cool motorcycles and
It's been like that all week.
A couple of cars out, and I had some young fella in one of those pickup trucks riding my rear end, and he zoomed past me, and I came around the corner, and sure enough, there was the Popo pulling him over. So
they're I'll send out the friendly warning to everybody right now. They are taking this 100 deadly days of summer very seriously this year. So
yeah, they're everywhere.
Yep.
So I all this talk, and I'm hearing it more and more from the national guys. I heard a fella compare Lenora Sellers to Cam Newton this week, and they had something in ESPN where they had a couple of their lead college writers ranked the top 5 in every position, and each of them had their own group of 5, and in quarterbacks, they both had Klubnik 1, and one of them had Sellers 3, and one of them had Sellers 4.
Yep.
And with the hype, and I'm one of those people around here that I don't have a dog in the fight because I'm not originally from around here, so I actually pull for both teams. God forbid, don't tell anybody.
Well, Ray, we force you to make a choice now, so that's going to have to change.
So, I've had kids go to both schools, so I'm.
Which one you like right more? Which kid?
This is usually when everybody answers Coastal.
Remember the thing I said at the beginning? They'll miss you when you're gone. I'll judge that here in a couple of weeks. But so I went back and I watched the fourth quarter of the last Carolina Clemson game just to refresh my memory. And I could understand Klubnik and how far he's come, and not only in his ability to play and his leadership, but man, especially in the second half of that game, Sellers really outplayed him. And, in that last drive, I mean, there's no exaggeration about comparing him to some of those great athletic quarterbacks in the past. And, I wanted to make sure I was remembering right, and sure enough, I did. And so I think it's, since you guys are the experts, I can't remember the last time 2 players, one from Clemson and one from Carolina, especially quarterbacks, have been in the top 5 rankings for the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be, I think, a great fall. I just hope, both of them are able to stay healthy.
Yeah, I think, too, what worries me, especially with Lenoris, is people do forget his age. He's still a young player. We set these crazy, lofty goals and expectations because you see the brilliance on the field. And, Klubnik, I think, suffered from some of that early on. I mean, people were really down on him 2 seasons ago. There were questions about it, and the fans were calling for it. The writers were talking about, this might be a misfire here. But apparently he has the talent. I think the offense was finally set up to work with him. I don't think it was that the light bulb came on and he finally understood what they were asking of him. I think they were finally making an offense that suited his skill set. Whereas the offense in South Carolina is built around Lenoris.
Yeah, and about Klubnik, he's always had that want to. And you can't coach that.
No.
And here's another thing to keep in mind, and somebody mentioned this to me this week too. We're all assuming if Lenoris is going to be a top 10 projected pick that he's going, and somebody told me this week that it means more to him playing with his little brother, and if he can make $5 million next year, sticking around another year to play another year with his little brother, I wouldn't be shocked if that happened.
Yeah, and they're saying, from what I've understood, I have to go back and look at how they're listing, but I'm pretty sure I've read this somewhere. Right now, at his current size and his frame, his build is already that of, the quarterback from the Panthers he's being compared to.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Yeah. He was Newton's Heisman year. They're already the same size. So he's durable. He's got that. Again, they've all got tape on him now. Everybody can see what they can do, what he can do. So, how do they contain him? Will the offense have some wrinkles out there to open up opportunities for him? But I'm seeing a lot of attention in the last couple of weeks with articles being written or comments being made, videos being posted of whether Lenore Sellers can throw the long ball. And
well, he can throw that long ball.
Yeah, we saw that.
We've seen it. I don't know where
we saw
there's
that
a question.
in freshman year.
Yeah.
And about the money part, you can't really weigh, $5 million for an additional season against a top 10 quarterback, NFL, $100 million guaranteed, that first contract. So it'll be interesting, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of angst by the Gamecock fans, especially if everything goes the way that everybody hopes it goes, about what his future is going to be like. But it's the end of June, the beginning of July, and so we can talk about all these great expectations. So I'm glad you guys are back. I hope you get another vacation before football season.
Yeah, I don't think I'm planning on going out of town, but I will have my rig with me so I can do the show from remote with Matt. So I don't think we're planning on taking too much time off.
I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray. All right, 843-407-5812 is the number, 843-407-5812.
He brings some interesting points up.
Yes.
And I'm kind of wondering if he has a really successful season, will he be back?
Makes you wonder, especially if he can play the full season with Jaden.
I don't know. I can't say what I would do. Well, I can say what I would do if I were him. I think it would depend on the results of the season. If I put everything out there and there was nothing else I could do, I might be content to go on and go pro. Especially right now while he's still got his youth. He's got the size. He's at the top of his game. Why not take the big money? Because he'll get it. He'll be in that first round easily.
Yeah. Well, speaking of big money, we're going to talk about a team.
Okay.
That spent big money. And you saw their results.
Yeah, I see the ad. Yeah, I can't believe that.
See the team in question. We'll talk about it.
I can't believe that.
Your new Chevrolet from Jones Chevrolet comes with our exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Now that's peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet offers their extraordinary 20-year, 200,000-mile powertrain warranty on your new Chevrolet at no cost to you. Plus, at Jones Chevrolet, you won't pay a dealer fee, saving you even more. See us online at joneschevy.com or hurry into Jones Chevrolet in Sumter. More car, less money, guaranteed. Dismiss commercial Corvettes and Civic Rush Camaros do not apply. Non-transferable. See dealer for details.
Are you feeling run down? Struggling to keep up with life's demands? At Practical Purpose Solutions, they're here to help you reset, physically and mentally. Kendra Robinson, family nurse practitioner, and her amazing staff specialize in nutrient infusion therapy, designed to restore your energy and health with up to 100% vitamin absorption. Whether you're battling fatigue, post-cold symptoms, anxiety, or depression, or just need the energy boost, they have the perfect IV infusion for you. From sports recovery to immune support, GI and respiratory recovery, jet lag relief, and even post-surgery aid, their infusions are customized for your specific needs. Or are you looking to enhance your beauty routine, relax and rejuvenate in as little as 45 to 60 minutes? They offer concierge services as well. At Practical Purpose Solutions, book your appointment today at practicalpurposesolutions.com or call 843-799-2210. They're conveniently located at 2011 Second Loop Road, Suite A. Practical Purpose Solutions, where vitality meets convenience.
In the heart of South Carolina, where the spirit of celebration thrives, there's a place unlike any other. Mickey Finn's your one-stop party destination with 3 locations, Cashua Drive, Pamplico Highway, and their huge beverage warehouse on Dr. Johnny Bruce Road next to Buc-ee's. Step into a world of endless possibilities where the shelves are filled with the largest selection of beer, wine, and liquor, each bottle carrying its own story of flavor and enjoyment. Sign up today for Mickey Finn's customer rewards. Mickey Finn says, we drink all we can and sell the rest.
I'm here with Coach Carter, who just won a game against their biggest rivals. Tell us how you're feeling, Coach.
I'm feeling great. This was a huge win for us tonight, and we couldn't have done it without every single member of the team. It's kind of like FTC's roster of services. Now there's a winning lineup. From internet and wireless to phone, security, and TV, these team players all play a critical role in making FTC your all-in-one technology company.
Now that sounds like a winning combination. Get in the game with FTC, your all-in-one technology company. Stop by a local FTC store or visit FTC.net.
This is Robbie Nally from CRW Insurance. Let's face it, insurance needs are typically not on your mind until a loss occurs. Don't wait for that severe storm or auto accident to determine if you have the right coverage. Let us help you prepare today for tomorrow's unexpected. Simply call 803-775-1168 or stop by our Sumter location at 25 East Calhoun Street or our Manning location at 117 South Brook Street to discuss and review your current insurance needs.
Nothing says tradition like your hometown Piggly Wiggly. Take it from the pig. When it comes to value and freshness, you can't beat Piggly Wiggly. They've been bringing home the bacon for millions of American families for over 100 years. Today, they're one of the best known and best loved brands in America. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly today and take home the freshest meats, vegetables, and produce, along with great deals on all your favorite brands. Each week, the pig features new specials, perfect for your tailgating parties and family mealtime.
Hello, everybody. This is Donnie Daniel with Daniel Wealth Management. Who is Daniel Wealth Management? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. At Daniel Wealth Management, we care and listen. We strive to protect, manage, and grow your future vision of life. We do this with character, integrity, and confidence as we seek to earn your trust and celebrate life's journeys together.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Gdic Wealth Incorporated. Member FINRA SIPC. Gdic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Gdic Wealth.
This is Joe Simpson from the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, and you're on the tailgate with Matt and Woody. This is Game Day in the Carolinas on 96.3 ESPN Radio.
It's Game Day in the Carolinas. We like to talk about, I have to tell everybody what the name of the show is.
Of course.
We like to talk about return on investment, correct?
Correct.
We love talking return on investment. $20 million. $20 million. That's what Missouri spent on football last year. Top 15 team.
Was it?
Part of that was, well, they were at 15 at one time.
At one time.
But then they collapsed.
Where'd they yeah.
Then their basketball, you put their basketball and baseball there, it's $31 million. Can you believe that?
$31 million.
All right, let's take a phone call. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Wayne.
Hey, Wayne.
Talking to this Klubnik, Sellers football talk here. So Sellers is a sophomore this year?
Red shirt.
Red shirt sophomore. So he's got two more. If he wasn't worried all about the money, if he's gonna get enough playing in college, he could literally play with his brother for 2 years.
For 2 years,
is at least. Correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, The only thing that I think that he can achieve that's going to put him in the great echelon of college, if he wins, and this is coming from me, and I'm a big Clemson fan, if he could go there and win the SEC title, he don't even have to win the national championship. Win the SEC title, he will be immortalized at South Carolina. Immortalized.
Don't disagree with that at all.
They'll put the statue out there. It'll be right beside George Rogers. You ain't got to worry about that. It'll be Lenore Sellers Boulevard.
He would be immortalized if he won. Just win the SEC title. That's all he's got to do. All he's got to do in his career at South Carolina will be made. Yeah. He never does anything else.
So you don't think the Heisman would put him over the top with that?
I think winning the SEC title is more elusive than winning the Heisman almost.
You're probably right.
At South Carolina, if you think about it, they've gotten one SEC title or ACC title in 1969. That's crazy. That's what's that? 55 years ago.
They got the East title a handful of years back.
Then you had to play a guy named Cam Newton.
Cam Newton, who he's being compared to.
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't disagree with you. I think you're right on line, Wayne. I think if he won an SEC title, that would put him never having to buy a meal, a drink, or a ride anywhere in Columbia for the rest of his life.
Shane Beamer would get a lifetime contract.
Probably.
And I'm saying this in a little bit in jest, but when his career is over, they need to send a bottle of Cristal or something to Syracuse.
And Virginia, for that matter, too.
Well,
we forget he was committed to Virginia before Syracuse.
I don't understand what took them so long in this state to be so slow to recruit Lenoris, because South Carolina did not enter that conversation until late. There's a lot of people I know that were, that have said repeatedly to Clemson brass that they obviously feel pretty poorly that they were going to regret not recruiting Lenoris at all. So it's interesting.
I mean, he's every bit as good as Deshaun Watson, but bigger. That's the crazy part. And I mean, he's the only reason I talk about him like this is because he's from my hometown.
Yep.
And when he's not playing Clemson, I don't pull for South Carolina. No, don't get me wrong. I'm a Clemson man. I never pull for South Carolina to win in nothing. I never pull for Coastal Carolina to win. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. They call me a hater. But I'm a Clemson man. I'm not a South Carolina man. I'm not a Coastal Carolina man. I'm a Clemson man first.
Yeah.
And I don't pull for other teams. I just don't do it. I've never done it and never will do it. I don't go ACC when the ACC is about to win the national championship. I don't do Duke in basketball and North Carolina in basketball. I'm a Clemson man. And that's it. I'm not a Clemson Duke man. I'm not a Clemson Coastal man. I'm a Clemson guy.
Well, here's the cool thing about it, Wayne, about this young man from Florence that we're watching it in the South Carolina uniform right now. He'd have done well in either uniform, whether it had been garnet or orange. He is not fully grown into his frame yet. This kid's still got room to grow. That's what's crazy about it. He's still growing.
He just needs to watch himself, because when you can grow, sometimes you can outgrow.
Yeah.
And prime example is Zion Williamson of North Carolina.
That's true. Duke.
Zion Williamson outgrew his body.
Yeah.
And he's never been the NBA player that they projected him to be. Never. And he never will be the NBA player they projected him to be.
He got caught up in the trappings of success, too. I think he took us some time off from the personal development and training part and gained some weight. He's had some troubles there, but I don't disagree. I mean, he really did hit another growth spurt, and unfortunately, he was growing the wrong way. But Lenoris, I know I've seen a lot of his tape in off-season workouts because he's been working out at South Florence a good bit. But, I just don't. He's kid's cut from a different cloth, and it goes all the way back to his family. You can tell just listening to his mom and dad talk, his brothers talking with them and other family, extended family that I know, they're just good people all the way around.
Yeah. And the last thing that I can say is that I don't know who the last guy you were talking to, but Sellers did not outplay Klubnik in the South Carolina game last week.
I saw that coming.
They are just two different types of players.
I still think they're probably two of the five best quarterbacks in the nation right now. Those two.
And I get a lot of grief from people that I talk with about the South Carolina people that I get talked with. But I get a lot of grief about this, and I don't admit it to them a lot. But playing in that SEC is a friggin' monster.
Yes.
A monster. It's just cut from a different level. If you want, you can't argue with it, and it's just when you play it in the SEC. I don't care who you play for, even Mississippi State. When you play in that on that level, you're just playing with different people. It's just.
Well, now I got to throw this out there just because I'm gonna pick on you because I have some inside information into some of this, but that them buddies that bug you at work wouldn't happen to be like Gamecock for life or anybody, would it?
No, I got one guy, and his name is Joey, and he's from Darlington. He's a big Gamecock fan, and me and him go back and forth a little bit. But you know, if me and him had this conversation, we getting a little heated. But then we go, if you can't get a little heated about the state of South Carolina in football, I mean, why is the reason even watch sports?
Well, I agree.
Watching it all together.
I agree, and I think it's great. Like I said, I'm excited that finally this game is getting to that point where it means something at the end of the year, other than just states bragging rights. That's cool and all, but I really like the fact that the game is a big game for us for personal reasons, for family reasons, for whatever reason, but then at the same time, it has a national impact. I love that. That says a lot for our state, says a lot for the talent, because, by the way, a lot of these guys are recruited right here in this state that are playing on both those squads. I think it means it's tremendous.
Well, it's also easier for these two major state schools. Mm-hmm. And actually, it helps Coastal a little bit, too, when
sure
Clemson and
does.
South Carolina are good, because we can lock the borders.
Yep.
Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm so tired of hearing about the top 5 players in the state always going to Tennessee and Georgia.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's changed. It's changed, but I think Dabo's recruiting philosophy is get them from wherever you can get them from.
Yeah, well, he can select.
Well, he's got a certain fit he's looking for, too. So, I didn't hear, have you heard any scuttlebutt on why the fullback was dismissed this week? Because you haven't heard of a player at Clemson being dismissed in a long time.
I don't. The only if you know if he ain't a starter that's been there for a while, I don't keep up with it.
I got you.
Yeah.
If he ain't a starter that's been released and he's a freshman running back and they got 6 in the stable, could care less.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, and hats off to him. We really don't hear a lot about players being dismissed a whole lot at Clemson or South Carolina. I love that, too.
And that's kind of the whole thing. The only things I've heard running around a couple people that pay attention to the message boards, well, I have no idea. But, yeah, the kid apparently has got an attitude issue and was seen screaming at coaches.
Oh, no, that doesn't fly.
That definitely don't fly at Clemson, no.
Yeah. You got to be part of the family. Or if you're not part of the family, you're part of the problem, and they're gonna let you go. I think most schools are like that. If you're gonna be a big problem, especially somebody ain't gonna help you win the national championship, and he ain't gonna help us win the national championship this year or next year. So
No, I mean, we think we can.
All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you for calling in, Wayne. Appreciate it. Don't be a stranger.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Wayne.
All right.
Yeah, I want to jump in on that real quick before I go back to the Missouri thing for 2 seconds. We don't talk about that enough. There are kids where you just have to look at them and go, son, you are not talented enough to be yelling and cussing like the way you are. Mm-hmm. You're going to deal with, like, if Cade Klubnik, got into the offensive coordinator's face, he'd probably tolerate a little bit of it because he's Cade Klubnik. But if you're some freshman that hasn't played a snap, and I'm not even going to pick a school here because I think this is pretty universal. You're a freshman that's never played a snap of NCAA football, and you're getting up in the face of your coordinator, and it ain't yes, sir, no, sir, you're going to be on thin ice.
Well, I think it's kind of like what combination of what Wayne was saying, and I've heard Orlando Hudson say that in a story he told us one time, about a rookie pitcher getting a 2 or 3 inch expanded strike zone on the outside corner. He's like, calls time and looks at the official and says, Blue, I got numbers. What are you doing? This guy's a rookie. I got numbers. You got numbers, you got playing time, and you've been putting it out there, and you're winning games. You might have a little bit more leeway. Yeah. But I still say at Clemson, you don't get that leeway.
No.
I don't care who you are.
Well, we saw that, what was it, a couple of years ago with that running back.
Yeah.
Got up in C.J. Spiller's face.
Yep.
He was in the transfer portal real quick, wasn't he?
Yeah, very much so. But, yeah, I still think about Hudson. He said, Blue, I got numbers. You can't give him that strike zone. I got numbers. I've been here.
I wanted to get into this Missouri thing here real quick. Now,
$20 million for football, $31 million overall.
$31 million overall, $20 million for football. They were 10-6 in football this year. But a lot of those losses were at the end of the season. I mean, that was pretty damn concerning. Now, in basketball, yeah, they made the NCAA tournament. Good for you. You got bounced out in the first round. But you're still giving a lot of money to baseball. And remind me again, Woody, how many games they won in conference this year?
None, I believe.
3.
One. They did get 3?
They swept A&M at the end of the season. Are you sure your priorities are okay?
No.
Missouri.
I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I just did the old chat GPT thing since I'm kind of digging this thing now a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not a big AI fan because I'm still afraid of like Terminator.
Yeah.
But
we all are.
Clemson's NIL collective funding in 2024 was approximately $15.26 million.
So
That's everything.
You're telling me that Clemson spent half of what Missouri did, and the football team made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The basketball team made the NCAA tournament.
The baseball team.
And the baseball team made the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. And the women's softball team did pretty well too.
And the softball team was one win away from going to Oklahoma City.
Yeah. They said it aligns with the averages for ACC Power 5 schools. ACC Power 5 schools typically bring in $9 to $10 million. And that's total NIL collective funding.
Yeah.
You can say North Carolina had a better year.
So I have to ask the question. What the hell are you doing, Missouri? Who are you spending this money on? I mean, are you like grandma who sits up and watches all the infomercials and just got to make the phone call? I mean, come on, Missouri. $30 million. You spent $30 million in your sport, and not one team made the playoffs. Well, I'll take that back. The basketball team did. The basketball team made the NCAA tournament. But you were bounced out in the first round.
Yeah.
Your baseball team won 3 games in conference. Your football team had a collapse at the end of the year. And you're spending $30 million on the NIL? This is the other side of the NIL coin, by the way, people. This is what I'm talking about. The other side of the NIL coin. You can't just throw money at it.
Well, Garnet Trust pulled in collectively $9.55 million in total NIL funding in 2020. Well, that's 23-24 academic year.
Yeah, and your football team just missed the playoffs.
Basketball team was.
Hey, the basketball. I'll say this though: you got an excuse with the basketball team. That's only Lamont's second year.
But you look at women's basketball
and the women's basketball,
women's softball.
Yep, they were in Oklahoma City.
Track and field did really well this year. We had a young lady break her personal best, ranked 4th in the collegiate all time, and I think she won one event.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Y'all were like Clemson. You were 1 win away from Oklahoma City.
Yep. They had to beat UCLA.
And the baseball team's got kind of an excuse with Maneri's first year.
Call it whatever you want. Won't be one next year.
Not an excuse to be that bad.
No.
But you see what I'm saying.
I expect him to be competitive.
I think, you know what? That's the whole thing. I guess that's kind of our point, is NIL ain't this...
It's not going to save it. No.
But you know what it's going to do? It's going to put unfair expectations on a lot of coaches.
Well, it's a good case study for anything in life. I mean, when you're dealing with government or anything else, the solution is always to throw money at something, and that isn't always the solution. No. It's more about quality and caliber of people. I mean, you can't just fix something again by throwing money at it. You've got to have the right people in place with the right tools in their hands.
So when you hear Texas spending $40 million
Don't get
on a
worried.
football team, because
it'd probably scare you to know what Coastal's got in total NIL funds.
Oh, I don't doubt it, because Mowgli has got some friends.
Yeah, but I don't think they're pulling those kind of numbers.
Probably not. All right, back in a minute.
Are you tired of hearing strange noises coming from your car? Do you need to get your vehicle serviced but don't have time to do it yourself? Look no further than Tim's Auto Pro. Their highly skilled, certified technicians have years of experience and are equipped with the latest tools to get your car running like new again. They offer a variety of services, from routine maintenance to major repairs, at competitive prices. Don't let car problems stress you out any longer. Tim's Auto Pro, the only place to go. 2685 Peach Orchard Road in Dazzell, or online at timsautopro.com.
Hey, it's Tony Zach with Mr. Sparky. Our team is available 24/7. We stand ready to help you with any of your electrical emergencies or your electrical upgrades. We install generators, surge protection, help troubleshoot electrical issues, and much more. Our technicians are drug tested and background checked for your safety. Call us or book online. Mr. Sparky, we'll be right over.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nothing says tradition like your hometown Piggly Wiggly. Take it from the pig. When it comes to value and freshness, you can't beat Piggly Wiggly. They've been bringing home the bacon for millions of American families for over 100 years. Today, they're one of the best known and best loved brands in America. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly today and take home the freshest meats, vegetables, and produce, along with great deals on all your favorite brands. Each week, the pig features new specials, perfect for your tailgating parties and family mealtime.
In the heart of South Carolina, where the spirit of celebration thrives, there's a place unlike any other. Mickey Finn's your one-stop party destination with 3 locations, Cashua Drive, Pamplico Highway, and their huge beverage warehouse on Dr. Johnny Bruce Road next to Buc-ee's. Step into a world of endless possibilities where the shelves are filled with the largest selection of beer, wine, and liquor, each bottle carrying its own story of flavor and enjoyment. Sign up today for Mickey Finn's customer rewards. Mickey Finn says, "We drink all we can and sell the rest."
Are you ready to tackle the road in a brand new ride? Come by Florence Toyota and lease the all-new 2025 Toyota Tacoma SR for just $325 a month for 36 months with 0 down. Or take it home with 2.99% APR financing, both with approved credit. Visit us today at 2300 West Palmetto Street or shop online at florencetoyota.com. But hurry, this offer ends June 30th. Florence Toyota, we're just better. See dealer for full details.
Covering the 3 most important things in life: long necks, sundresses, and sports. It's game day in the Carolinas.
All right. It is that time of the week.
Our Idiot of the Week segment brought to you by Mr. Rob Weiland and Men with Shirts, 843-260-1105. Check out his Facebook page, also appropriately titled Men with Shirts, and his website, menwithshirts.com. Rob can save you money if you have a small business. He can help you design your logo. We just worked together and got a logo redesign for some T-shirts for our show.
Yep.
They are fantastic.
They are.
Man, let me tell you, people are going to be fighting for these things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, give him a call. He can put your logo on a hat, a cup, a mug, a koozie, whatever you need, keychain, T-shirt. He can sit down. You don't have to buy 5,000 of them to get the deal. 1 or 2. He can get a T-shirt printed up in about 7 minutes. So give him a call, 843-260-1105. Again, Men with Shirts, Mr. Rob Weiland. He's a good guy. You'll make a friend for life. I can't say enough about the fellow, but I really do appreciate his abilities and his willingness to be our Idiot of the Week sponsor.
Yes. All right. I get to start this week.
Okay.
Because I have the Ultra Karen of the Century. Well, at least we think he is.
I didn't realize they were assigning that title.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. During the first 5 months of this year, 72-year-old Florida man Samuel Lee Thomas has placed 3,400 calls to 911. Yeah. Pushing his 5-year total to 16,000 calls to 911.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. According to investigators who arrested the recurring caller for allegedly stalking a neighbor. Police last week responded to a 911 call claiming that someone was shooting an AR-15, because, that's the only gun they ever make anymore, in the roadway outside a St. Petersburg residence. When officers arrived to the home, they discovered a family barbecue with children at play. So they went from shooting AR-15s in the street to a family barbecue with children at play. How nice. Anyways, police communication records showed that Thomas this year dialed police 647 times to make complaints about his neighbor. He's also made allegations about narcotic sales, firearm usage, disorderly conduct, and suspicious activity. So yes, he is facing charges right now, as a matter of fact, as he should be. Thomas's telephonic provocativities extended beyond the household. According to a criminal complaint, he has made approximately 3,400 phone calls to the police this year, 16,000 in the last 5 years. The complaint does not detail the nature or target of all the 911 calls. It indicates with regard to Thomas, there was no indication of mental health issues, drug or alcohol influence. Yeah. By the way, would it be shocking to let you know that he has a criminal record himself?
Not surprising at all.
No.
Well, I'm moving that probably the most disgusting idiot of the week I've ever had, and it involves the world of professional darts. Yes.
And one of the big names in darts, too.
One of the very big names. A gentleman by the name of James Wade was in a match against Peter Wright. He did not realize that the match was being streamed, but apparently James Wade has a history of passing gas in front of his opponents.
Actually, as somebody who's watched darts, I have seen this.
He rips one in the Pro Tour tournament, and it stunk so bad that his opponent, James Wright, walked off. Left.
That's kind of poopy.
And basically, Wright won by DQ. Wade won by DQ. Did not realize it was televised. His quote was, "It slipped out. Give it a second."
It slipped out. Give it a second.
And the guy let him know, prompted him step, because when Wright stepped back and laughed uncomfortably, the opponent, and he just then walked away. But Wade's joke, the guy that cut it, was quickly backfired when the match caller told him the clash was being televised. So Wade said, "Oh boy, okay then, this is a stream match, guys." And he goes, "It slipped out. Give it a second." And apparently the opponent did not feel that it was very funny or anything and walked away and DQ'd himself from the championship match. So anything to say, it takes anything to win, whatever you got to do.
I want to know, did the judge, did the referee actually come out and say, that fart was 180?
I mean, people are trying to excuse that. Well, it does kind of slip out at times. This guy has a history of doing it. It was done intentionally.
And Wade is not, as somebody who's watched darts, Wade is not exactly the best when it comes to sportsmanship.
I mean, let's just be honest, too. He's not bringing in probably a $3 million purse from this thing. He might have been lucky to make, well, maybe, but still. How nasty. James Wade. Idiot of the week. Congratulations, brother.
It must be a qualifier. That's all I know. But, we're going to try not to poop in our pants.
No, we are not going to do that.
Yes. And we'll see you next week.
Hello, everybody. This is Donnie Daniel with Daniel Wealth Management. Who is Daniel Wealth Management? Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us. At Daniel Wealth Management, we care and listen. We strive to